Doreen and Rick have been married 15 years. Doreen was a single mother of 2 young sons when she met Rick, who was a Vietnam veteran. Older than Doreen, he worried about taking on the responsibility of being father to her little boys, but they married and grew into a strong family unit. Rick is close with both his stepsons. He didn't talk often about his military service, but their older son Derek surprised them by coming home and announcing that he had followed his stepfather's path and enlisted straight out of high school. He's now a 19-year-old soldier. He left for Afghanistan 6 weeks ago. Doreen is proud yet worried about Derek, but it's his younger brother, Terry, that she wants help in supporting.
Terry is my 16-year-old. He's a quiet kid, not looking for attention. He's the kind of kid who does nice things and you don't even know about it. Last winter, it turns out he was shoveling the walkway for an elderly lady on our street. I don't even know when he was doing it. I happened to be talking with her in June, and she told me how much she appreciated his help. Congratulated me on having raised such a good boy. That's Terry. You never know what he's up to. Hopefully it'll always be good surprises I get. My husband, Rick, is the stepfather to both my boys. Their biologic dad took off when I was pregnant, so neither boy really knew him. Rick is the only dad they've ever had. Rick and I were, and are, so proud of Derek, and also really worried about him. We hardly hear anything from him, and, well, what you see on TV is all bad. I made friends with another mother through the family readiness group, and she's been a huge support for me. I wish Terry had someone like her to talk with for himself. Terry isn't talking about Derek much, but there's a heaviness about him now I can't exactly describe. 2 weeks ago, he came home from school furious, mad enough to complain out loud to me. His social studies teacher was talking about how we don't belong in Afghanistan and how they'll just keep blowing up U.S. soldiers until we get tired of sending them. Terry was beside himself, but he didn't say a word in class. I wish he had. There aren't many military families around here, and I bet the teacher just assumed no one in class knew anybody serving in Afghanistan. The teacher acted like he's the expert on what the U.S. should and shouldn't be doing. Terry said everyone in the class started talking about the war, but it wasn't like they cared about the real people serving. The way people act like somebody else is fighting this war really upsets me. It's our son. It's Terry's brother. And every one of those service members has a family. I think it helped Terry to talk with me, but he feels like nobody his own age gets this, and he says there's no point in talking about it. He's quiet, but so mad. I worry he could be a time bomb and explode on someone. Plus, he's been staying up late and struggling to get up in the morning. A couple of times he's come home from school and just gone up to his room and slammed the door. I know he's not mad at me, but it's hard because I'm on edge myself. Terry's always been close to his brother. They fought plenty as little kids. Terry always trying to keep up, the typical little brother, but they always stuck up for each other, even against Rick and me. I noticed that Terry and Rick have been talking more about Rick's experiences in Vietnam. Hey, Rick survived and came back older and wiser. I think that talking together is probably good for both of them. We're hoping to hear from Derek soon, which will be a relief, I think. Waiting for a call and worrying, what if he calls and we miss it? It's just a lot of pressure on all of us. There's going to be an elephant on my chest every day till he comes home. I can't let myself think about what could happen. Like so many moms, I can't protect Derek over there, but I want to help Terry here.
Do Doreen's worries sound familiar to you? When a brother or sister is serving, the impact on the siblings at home is significant and often unrecognized. There's a closeness and loyalty between brothers, like Derek and Terry, that includes love and conflict and lots of shared experiences. With so much closeness comes a special mix of pride and of worry. And when a brother or sister is serving, parents are sharing that worry along with the pride. If Doreen came to see me, I would start by asking her to tell me about how she's doing herself. She said she's feeling on edge and that she has an elephant on her chest. How she's doing will be an important factor in how her son copes too. From an early age, children learn to read their parents and to know their degree of worry and use it as a barometer of how to feel themselves. Teenagers are often very tuned in to how their parents are coping and some may bottle up their emotions in an effort to protect a worried parent. Doreen's glad that Terry's talking with Rick, but she's still worrying that he has a lot of bottled up emotion. Some brothers and sisters at home feel guilty about the lesser challenges that upset them. Or they may get the message from parents that their concerns are not worthy of attention in comparison to the life or death challenges faced by the sibling who's deployed. This can result in feeling less supported at home, but I don't hear that at all in what Doreen has shared with us. Does Terry's experience at school sound familiar to you? In my experience, many military-connected kids are upset by political conversations at school. There's the distressing message that some classmates or teachers view their family service as meaningless, or at least devalue the courage and sacrifice. As Terry so well expressed, it's especially isolating when it's assumed that there are no other military-connected students in a class, or when there's no evidence that classmates are struggling with the magnitude of the sacrifice being made. At a time when the percentage of Americans who serve is at an all-time low, it's too easy for classmates and teachers in many parts of our country to talk as if the post-9/11 wars are someone else's wars and not all of ours. I'd encourage Doreen and Rick to reach out to Terry's guidance counselor or maybe principal and try to find someone at school they can talk with, or at least that Terry can talk to about his experience. Maybe there's a teacher or coach with whom Terry has a really good relationship, or someone his brother Derek was close to during his high school years, or possibly a veteran at the school. Doreen is worrying rightly that Terry feels alone with his experience, and it seems he's storing up frustration and anger, and it's building. The best remedy is finding safe places where he can vent or express himself and not feel so alone. Home is one important place, and I'd want to think creatively with Doreen about how to make sure school is another. Some older children and teens benefit from working on a project they can share with their class about their family's specific military service or about the post-9/11 wars. PowerPoint presentations can work really well for this, and sometimes local veterans groups have members who can help a student put together a great presentation. Rick may also have connections to veterans organizations, or Doreen may get ideas from her friend or a local family readiness group. There also might be a teacher who's willing to help, but it's especially powerful when someone who has served in OEF or OIF comes to the presentation. Sharing that real experience benefits not only the teen with a family member serving, but all the students in the class. Since 9/11, an unprecedented number of our deployed service members are from the National Guard and the Reserves. As a result, family members often live in communities with small numbers of other service members, so like Terry, feelings of isolation are common. I'd encourage Rick and Doreen to explore opportunities for Terry to get to know other military-connected teens. This could be through a special camp, service activities, or a person-to-person connection from a family readiness group or a military support organization. Even if Terry doesn't want to follow through on any of these suggestions, just knowing they exist can help him feel like he has choices and he's not so alone. Another idea would be for Rick and Doreen to try inviting Derek's high school friends over a few times while Derek's deployed, maybe to the house for a barbecue. This would give Terry a chance to reconnect with his brother's friends and to be surrounded with people who are thinking and talking about his brother. It might help Terry open up about missing or worrying about Derek himself. Maybe with the help of Derek's friends, Terry can organize a special personal care package to Derek from the guys. Visit the Home-Based Community Center for some ideas about how to support siblings at home, and be sure to send us your ideas so that we can share them. And working together with Doreen, I'd encourage her to pay attention to her own emotional health, because it affects Terry too, to explore some ways to engage Terry's teachers and classmates so he doesn't feel disconnected with bottled up emotions at school, and can talk about his important experience as the brother of a service member who's deployed. The last piece, to think about ways to connect Terry with peers who share his military connection, or with Derek's friends who, like Terry, really care about Derek. It's my experience that the bond between brother or brothers and sisters is even stronger after one or both have served. So by helping shape Terry's experience in positive ways, Doreen and Rick are doing what will benefit not only Terry, but both their sons. Did Terry remind you of your teen or another teen you know? Please let us know if this was helpful to you by rating the video. Also, let us know if you'd recommend it to another parent or a friend. Thank you for sharing your feedback. It's important to us.